Alright everyone, good morning, how are you guys? It's Alexander John Calton here and I'm back today with another video. Today, let's just dive right into it, alright? Alright, today I'm going to be asking you guys 3 questions to encourage storytelling, alright? So what are your 3 questions to encourage storytelling? Alright, let's dive right into this and let's get started right now. Alright, the first question I'm going to be asking you guys, there's 3 questions today. The first question I'm going to be asking you guys: Question number 1. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you? Alright guys, so what's the funniest thing that has ever happened to you in your life? What is one moment that's like, you know what, that moment to me was very funny? What's a very funny moment that has happened in your guys' life before? Alright, I'm gonna try and think of a funny moment in my life. The most funniest moment in my life would have to be at school. School was funny to me. I used to laugh at school a lot. I also used to do pretty stupid things in school, to be honest, and I used to laugh about it. But I can understand then, because we were kids back then, we were young, and you know, our childhood when we were young, a lot of things are more funnier in our childhood compared to now. That is my theory of things. That is my theory about the whole thing. But yeah, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you? Funniest thing? I'm trying to think of this. I'm going to be asking you guys this question as well. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to you guys, in your life? What's the most funniest thing that's ever happened in your guys' life? Funniest thing that's ever happened in my life? Oh, I'll give you guys one. I remember this. This was when I was very young. I think I was like 3 years old. I was living in a granny flat. And you know how on the floor there's like the pebbled floor, like the rocks? Well, the floor, it got wet. I went outside, I slipped over, and this is the most funny thing, I did the splits. So I slipped over and I did the splits, and it was a pretty funny moment for me. Me personally, if I could pin one moment out of my life that was funny, I think it was definitely then. That was when I was nearly 3 years old. So I went outside, there was like a wet puddle. I accidentally walked in it, and you know what, I slipped over on it, and for the first time in my life I did the splits. That's pretty funny, hey? That's my funny memory in my life. I walked, the floor was slippery, the pebbled floor was slippery. I walked, fell over, and I did literally the full splits, the full motion. I did the full splits, and it was pretty cool. It was very funny, a very funny moment for me. Alright, so that is question number 1, scraped off the spatula. Alright, let's go on to the second question. Question number 2 I want to ask you guys. So again, what's the most funniest thing that's ever happened to you guys in your life? Tell me and put a comment in the comment section below. Alright, that is question number 1 off the spatula. Alright, question number 2. Question number 2 is, What's a story you've never told anyone? Alright guys, has there ever been a story in your life that you've never told anyone? Like, you've kept it personal, you know, you kept it private, you kept it to yourself. You didn't really want to divulge your personal information to anyone. Has there ever been a story that you've never told? Like I said, you just wanted to keep it personal, you just wanted to keep it in the vault, you know what I mean, by yourself. You didn't really want to divulge your personal information. Well, I'm going to be telling you guys a story I've never told you guys before. There's been a couple of stories. Going back to a couple of videos, I said something bad happened to me when I was 2 years old, and it was so true. I'll tell you guys what happened when I was 2 years old. I went to daycare. As you know, when we're young, at a very young age, we go to daycare. I went to daycare. Guess what happened? This is absolutely no laughing matter, and this is a memory that is stuck with me since I was little. And I've even got my baby photo in there from nearly my 2nd birthday to prove it to you guys. So one day, I went to daycare, and this is like a 1 in a billion chance this happened, but it did happen. I was walking, and there's this massive brick wall, right? And to behold, guess what? There was a rusty old nail poking out of the brick wall. I was going to say, for starters, I don't even know why that is even in the daycare center. First of all, that is a safety hazard. That's not the bad part. I'm going to tell you guys the bad part. When we're young, we don't really know what we're doing. You know, we don't know what we're doing. We're silly, you know, when we're young. Anywhere between a baby, let's say, to 4 years old, we're young. This is a very, very stupid move I did. A very stupid move. And it cost me dearly. So there was this rusty old nail that was poking out of the brickwork. Oh my goodness. I have never, ever, ever screamed so loud in my life. You ready to hear the bad part? And this is exactly what happened. I leant forward, my forehead, I leant forward, yeah? The rusty old nail was sharp, it was pointing out. This is no laughing matter when I tell you guys this. And this has been a memory that has lasted me since this happened, I think 4 or 5 days before my 2nd birthday. I leant forward, and the rusty old nail went straight into my forehead. And I'm being serious when I say this. It went straight into my forehead. It fucking hurt so bad. I'm not gonna lie. It hurt so bad. And literally I was 5 days out. 5 days removed from my 2nd birthday. This happened 5 days before my 2nd birthday. Leant forward, and the rusty old nail went in my forehead. That freaking hurt so fucking bad. I'm like, ah! And mind you, I wasn't even 2, but I was close to being 2. At the time, my mum, she lived next door to the daycare center. And my mum heard this noise, like this massive scream. And she's like, what is this? And I'm like, ah! And I'm crying, you know, I'm freaking crying so much. It hurt so much, it was so painful. My mum literally like bolted out, like rushed out. She came, and I'm not gonna lie when I tell you guys this, my face was covered in blood. My face was covered in blood, and my mum's like, what the fuck just happened? What happened? You know? So what she did was, she freaked out, of course. She freaked out because my face was full of blood. She she did not know where the blood was coming from, but it was definitely on my face. Until she saw that rusty old nail poking out of the brickwork. For starters, that rusty old nail shouldn't have even been there. That's a massive safety hazard. You know, that is a massive safety hazard. And this is a place, mind you, where kids go to daycare. It was a daycare center, and that was poking out of the brickwork. My mum, I'm not gonna lie, almost sued them for compensation. Almost sued the daycare center for compensation because of that. Almost, you know. But I don't think she wanted to land anyone in trouble, but she could have. You know, to be honest, that is very unacceptable. Why would you have stuff poking out of the brickwork like that for little kids? You know, that is a massive safety hazard, and I'm not gonna lie, I was on the receiving end of it big time. I was on the receiving end of that massively, big time. I leant forward, that was so unexpected, and my goodness it hurt. My goodness it hurt. It pierced my forehead, it pierced the skin on my forehead, and the blood just poured out, like pissed out, you know. And well, the nearest medical center was across the road, the nearest doctor. So what my mum did, she carried me in her arms, wrapped a towel around my forehead to stop the bleeding. There was that much blood. The towel was saturated in blood. It was like red. It was red as. It was dripping in blood. She had to hold it so tight, like firm, you know. She had to hold it so tight to stop the bleeding, you know, so firm. So she quickly ran me over to the medical center, and I got fixed up for that. And I spent my second birthday. It was a good second birthday, I'm not gonna lie, but with a band-aid on my forehead. And I think I had 2 stitches in there, I think. It was a very bad thing for me. It was, like I said, she could have sued that place, that daycare center. She could have sued that place for safety reasons. That's a safety hazard. Why would you have, for starters, why would you have that poking out of the brickwork? Why would you have that? And mind you, little kids go to this place. That's a very, very bad impression, and that is unacceptable. Little kids go there, and you know what? They should be basically ashamed of themselves. That shouldn't be there, for starters, but it was. And unfortunately, I was the unlucky one to cop the full effect of it. You know, I was on the receiving end of it big time. And yeah. Okay, another story I want to tell you guys. What's a story you've never told before? Told anyone? This is another story that hasn't really affected me, but it's one that I remember. I think I was 4 years old or 5 years old. As we know, our stomachs can't really handle certain foods when we're 4 and 5. I remember one night for dinner I had creamy, it was like creamy carbonara with mushrooms and that. And of course, with every meal you have to have a drink, right? And my drink of choice, and I'm so stupid and I so regret doing this, I asked for fresh orange juice. And my mum warned me. She's like, I wouldn't be having fresh orange juice if I was you, Alexander, because you're having something creamy, it was creamy mushroom pasta and had fresh orange juice. And she warned me. She said I wouldn't have that if I was you. To be honest, I didn't listen to her, so I drank the fresh orange juice with my creamy mushroom pasta. Oh yeah, I regret this one. I regret this one. The next morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning, woke up. Mind you, I was sleeping with my mum. Yep, I literally vomited all in my mum's bed. I vomited in my mum's bed. Mind you, not once, not twice, I think it was 5 times. I vomited 5 times in my mum's bed, and I regret doing that. I so regret doing that. First time, got up. I vomited all in my mum's bed, all over her. My mum's bed sheets, the doona sheets. It stunk. And she's like, well, I warned you, Alexander. You shouldn't have had fresh orange juice with the creamy pasta. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I regret this now. All is good. Cleaned up the first lot of sheets with the vomit. Put it in the washing machine, the vomit sheets. 20 minutes after again, I vomited all on the second lot of doona sheets. My mum got up, changed those vomit sheets, put them in the washing machine. Another 20 minutes after, I vomited again for the third time. All in the new doona sheets. Got up, changed the sheets, put them in the washing machine. And I know, I regret this one. Another 20 minutes after. 4th time, mind you. This is starting to become ridiculous. And I started thinking to myself, I shouldn't have had that. So she got up, changed the sheets again, threw it in the washing machine. Mind you, with all of my vomit on the sheets. And the 5th time, and this is where finally it stopped. Another 20 minutes, 25 minutes went by. For the 5th time, I vomited again all over my mum's bed again. All on the new clean doona sheets. Got up, changed that, threw those lot of sheets that had vomit on them in the washing machine. And she's like, Alexander, I'm going to give you something to stop your vomiting. I'm going to give you something to stop your vomiting. I'm going to give you a Mylanta. And it was orange flavor, I remember. And I didn't vomit again. Thank goodness. So those are the 2 stories that I've never told anyone. The nail in my head and me vomiting in my mum's bed. Which was very unpleasant to do in my mum's bed, but it's natural, it has to come out. And I probably wouldn't have made it time to go to the bathroom, so very disgusting. I felt sorry for my mum. I felt so sorry for my mum. She had to change the doona sheets 5 times. I vomit 5 times in my mum's bed. I shouldn't have had that. That's one thing I regret. I shouldn't have had creamy. I shouldn't have had orange juice with creamy mushroom pasta. It definitely curdled in my stomach. And those were the consequences. I vomited everywhere. Disgusting, I know. Alright, guys. And the question number 3, I'm going to be asking you... Oh, wait a minute. For question number 2, please tell me what's a story you've never told anyone. Put an answer to question number 2. What's a story you've never told anyone, guys? So, again, I want to get to know my fans better. So what is a story, guys, you've never told anyone before? Please put a like and subscribe to my channel. Alright, and the last question I'm going to be asking, question number 3 for you guys. So question number 2 is scraped off the spatula. Question number 2, off the spatula. Alright, and the last question, question number 3 I'm going to be telling you guys is... for today, which is the last question, is, what's an embarrassing moment you've had? And I'm not gonna lie, I've had a couple of embarrassing moments. And one really stands out. And I'm not gonna lie when I say this. This was very inappropriate, very rude, and very unexpected. I'm gonna tell you guys this story. Alright, I was down the main street getting something. I think it was a pizza, right? Alright, I ordered my pizza, done, dusted. I finished ordering my pizza. On my way going back home to eat my pizza. This is very, very rude, and this is very unacceptable to me. This woman, obviously the pub was next door, I had to walk past the pub, right? This woman came out of the pub. I don't even know this woman. I'm being serious. I don't even know this woman from a bar of soap. Right? And guess what she does to me? I walk past. Mind you, this woman was she was highly intoxicated. She stunk like alcohol. She was so drunk, right? I think she came beside me. Oh my goodness. This was so unacceptable and so rude. I don't even know this woman. I don't even know her. I don't even know her name. She comes up. She puts her arm around me. Can you guys believe that? She put her arm around me. And then she inappropriately touched me. She lowered her arm. And I think she squeezed my nipple. That is so rude. And that is so inappropriate. For starters, I don't even know you, alright? I'm not your boyfriend, for starters. I'm not your boyfriend, and you're not my girlfriend. Don't you ever touch me like that again. You're a total stranger, right? Who in the fuck are you? I'm just saying that right now. Who in the fuck are you? Don't you ever touch me like that again. I didn't even know this woman. I did not know this woman at all. This was so unexpected, so inappropriate, and so rude. She put her arm around me, lowered her arm, and squeezed my nipple. And mind you, this was in public, mind you. I was so humiliated and so fucking embarrassed. I almost went to the police. I could have went to the police. I could have pressed charges on this woman. Again, I didn't even know this woman. First of all, I don't even know you. You touched me inappropriate, which is so rude. First of all, you were out of line. This woman was out of line and out of touch, big time. She was so drunk and so intoxicated. That's not the worst thing. And you know what she told me? And this right here just crossed the line. This right here is unacceptable. This has definitely crossed the line. You know what she told me? So she puts her arm around me, lowers her arm, squeezes my nipple, and then she proceeds to say this to me. I know, guys. Listen to what she told me. Do you want to enjoy the porno? Are you freaking kidding? Enjoy the porno? First of all, I'm not like that, okay? I don't even know you. I'm not like that. You're a total stranger. For starters, you touched me inappropriately, which was so rude. Like I said, you were so out of touch and you were so out of line. You definitely crossed the line. Alright? And mind you, this was in a public setting as well. That was unacceptable, and I just don't take that. You know what I mean? That was just so rude. That is just one embarrassing moment of my life that happened to me. She was out of line. She was so rude. She said something so disgusting to me. Foul-mouthed. No manners. Absolutely absolutely, what's it called? She put it this way, she was out of line. She was so drunk, she was so intoxicated. That's just no excuse. Yeah, I understand you're drunk and I understand you're intoxicated and you do stupid things, but you don't have to go to extreme lengths like that. Like I said, I don't know you, alright? Don't you ever touch me inappropriately like that again. Like I said, I don't know you. I'm not your boyfriend. You're not my girlfriend. Don't you ever touch me like that again. Oh, I'm telling you something right now. If that ever happens again, I'm definitely going to go to the police and I'm definitely going to press charges. Alright guys, I'm going to leave the video here. So I'm just going to leave it off with, what's an embarrassing moment that's ever happened to you guys in your life? Alright, so I'm going to leave that question there. And on that, that's the video today. I hope you guys loved the video today. Please like, subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Peace out. Love you guys, my fans. See you soon.